Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Dark Souls 1 on the PC. This is my guide and my walkthrough. We're now on the 41st installment, Seath the Scaleless boss fight. So unquestionably, this is the worst run back in the game. If you follow my protocol, you will have to do the run back twice, assuming that you don't die more than once on the boss. There's a misconception about the clams outside of the boss area because you don't ever have to fight the clams. However, the first time you get to Seath, if you leave the clams alone and run past them, they will come into the boss arena. However, if you allow yourself to get killed, the second time you do the run back and get to the boss, you'll have a boss fog door, because the first time you do the run back and get to the boss, you just enter an arena. There is no boss fog door. But the second time, and then every subsequent time after, if you perish, you'll have a door so that you can always run past the clams and then they'll be sealed from the fight. Now, by necessity, that means you'll have to do this run back twice. They do give you prism stones somewhere around this area, which is pretty much an indication that you have a tool to use here, because, I mean, look how perilous this is. I think this guy gets permanently vanquished if you ever kill this guy. He's a big nuisance. If you play online, other players will, I think, often put the signs on the ground so you'll know which way to go. I always play offline though, so I don't have that luxury. However, if you are in my situation where you don't want to go online or you don't have access to the internet, just use the prism stones. They'll mark your path and you should be able to get through it. So farming for twink on these clams is a viable option, but you'll want to do that after you get to the bonfire and beat the boss. And I hate these enemies, so we never have to fight them. So what happened is, see how I have a door here? I got here earlier and then I allowed myself to get killed. So now we don't have to worry about the clams, so they're outside. And here's Seath. He does have some weapon that you can get by cutting off his tail. I'm not interested in that though. He is blind, and there is a device on the floor. When it gets hit, he gets stunned. The thing about that though is if you allow him to hit it, he'll get stunned for longer than if you just break it. So if you're impatient or you just don't care, you can just break this thing and then you can attack him and hit him. But until this thing is broken, either by him or by you, he's not able to get damaged. So I think this actually breaks it. Yeah, he broke it, and now he's stunned, and we're going to come up to him. And it's basically just circling around him. He's a very simple boss. I always thought this guy was so hard, but there is just a grand deception about this game's difficulty. Earlier in the guide I said the game's hard. It's not. It really isn't. It's just a ruse. Complete ruse, as we get thrashed a little bit. But these are curse spikes. They do subside, and you're just gonna have to be mindful of any time that you're on those, your curse bar is going to be building up and you will get cursed. So just roll away from those very quickly. And he's not even that deadly. I think this tail is not the one you need to cut off, it's the other one, and it's really hard to hit. And like I said, just not interested in the boss sword. I think it is a sword. But just always keep behind him, circling around him, and just hit his tail. We're using the lightning sword at +5. It deals really good damage. And it's just incredible how you can go from thinking that a boss can only be killed with a Black Knight halberd at +5 to being able to do it with a standard weapon like this, Because the game, it wants you to think that it's a lot more challenging than it is, and it does have a lot of difficulty originally when you play it, and a certain degree of a difficulty curve. But once you get pretty competent at the game, you're sailing through it. You are. That doesn't mean there aren't hardships at times, but it certainly doesn't mean that that something's undoable. Like, he's almost already dead. We were never threatened by curse. He barely hit us. It's probably one of the easiest bosses in the game. But that run back, it's perilous. It really is. And it's it's excessive. So there is our victory achieved. We're going to light the bonfire, and then we are going to slaughter Gwyn. Take care.